Hey everybody, it's Mike here again with a 96 GMC Sierra, total rebuild here. As you can see from this truck, it was pretty rough shaped. It was in 4 different colors, and it was a good thing I was able to do all the work myself because I saved myself a ton of money. The total truck was 500 bucks. It cost me about 1,500 in total with the truck to get her done. So the first thing we did was we pulled the grill off, and with that we actually um, we had to replace all the clips and that stuff because it was just kind of hanging there. We refinished the rims, and then we went on to doing taking the box off. Now with the box, it was a really weird thing we had to do. We didn't want to leave the tailgate on there. We wanted to be able to access that area. So what we did was we put a 2x4 in between, so it wouldn't collapse when we picked it up. We just literally wrapped some change around, and it worked out pretty well. Next thing we did, we looked at the frame and saw what kind of damage we had on the frame, and to see where we were at. Right away, we noticed the cross member over the rear half there was pretty rotten, holding the spare tire up. So no problem with that. We decided we were going to take that out and actually replace it with a steel tubing. Um, Next thing we noticed was the relief shackle was kind of rotten, so we went and ordered that. We grinded the old rivets out, put in new grade 8 bolts, and it works like a charm. Next thing we did on this truck, what we had to do for this total build here was look at the bumper as well, because the bumper was pretty rotten. It doesn't look that bad in the picture, but if you the steel plating on there was actually the only thing holding that thing together. Underneath it was just kind of rotten, so we had to get rid of that as well. The next thing we had to do was clean up any other rusty areas, make sure there's no holes, pitting, and that sort of stuff. So in this picture, we were trying to get rid of the rust there and see what we have left. And actually, it turned out really well. We didn't have any holes anywhere other than that cross member, which, like I said, we replaced with steel tubing. There's us removing the steel bracket. It was pretty rotten, and was just not savable. And honestly, it gave us a lot more room to work when we got rid of it. So, and the new tubing was way stronger overall. So that really worked out to our benefit. Here's the piece missing out of there. We took it out, getting ready for the new tubing. The only way I would do this, guys, if you have the tow hitch still installed, it'll keep your frame intact. Other than that, you'll get warping or shifting, so you don't want to do that. So make sure you have that going. Here's the truck all grinded down and painted. So we just took a wire wheel and cleaned it all up, and it worked out really well. Now in this picture we put the cross member back in to see if that was something we wanted to do, but we ended up going with the cross tubing. With the floor here, we had to actually cut out a nice 2-foot section, I'd say, to get this new patch put in. But it wasn't too bad. It was only to that area on the floor. I've been welding for quite a few years, so I decided to do that for myself. We literally started with a new patch there, as you can see there. I put 2 patches together to strengthen in the middle, to give it a little more support. You could do 1 whole patch, but I think it might buckle a little bit, so I did a double patch just to keep the strength up there and intact. So that was something we did there. The next thing we did was the rockers here. Now on the rockers, you'll notice they're pretty rotten. So actually, we bought some nice slip-on covers from CarQuest, and they were about 50 bucks each. Now you can find them cheaper, but that's what we paid for ours. And we got rid of whatever we needed to on this part here, and we actually spray painted it nice and slipped our new covers on with very minimal cutting out of the new rocker to slip it on there. And it turned out really well. We did pop rivets and caulked the whole thing around, and it worked out really well. I was really shocked at how the lines matched up. So you couldn't even tell. After you put the door seals back in, you couldn't notice. So here's the truck. We're just patching up all the spots on the truck with some spot putty. There was some kind of bigger dents, but this is a farm truck mostly, so I'm not too worried about it. Honestly, this is an older truck, and it's not something I'm looking at making a show truck or anything like that. So, but here we are. We've done a John Deere green, which I love. I love green colors. And what you'll see here is that we've done just a blacked out grill. I could have done the whole front grill black, but we ended up just doing the insert grill black, which I think turned out really well. In the next part here, you'll see that it has the old school tailgate on there, which I really love. That old school patina look really turned out well. I like the silver and the green with the black. I think it really sets it off. And we redid the whole trailer hitch, painted that all black. Um, we really took this thing apart to make sure all the parts were painted inside and out. Um, but honestly, this box was in really good shape. We had no real spotting, like nothing, just kind of surface rust, and we cleaned that all up, and it's good to go again. But yeah, as of that though, I mean, this truck literally had minimal stuff. I mean, as you can see here, the box pretty mint. I painted the inside there. It's got a nice glossy sheen. Um, Now we used spray cans for this because we're not too worried about the way the price tag. We're just looking for something that gets us around, right? Something to pull the boat around in, that sort of thing. So as you can see, here's the finished product on the outside here. It looks pretty good. I think it turned out really well. I don't think there's anything I'd do differently, honestly. Maybe black out a hood or something. If it looks like it's too much green, I might do that later. But other than that, honestly, this truck was a really fun build, and I hope you